Don't throw away those spoiled, inedible bananas. They are not only valuable but also really useful. Bananas are sweet, tasty, and affordable. Lots of people love bananas. However, if you don't know how to store them properly, they will spoil really quickly. They looked fine the other day, but now they're spoiled and inedible. Harmful substances develop in the banana pulp. So, you shouldn't eat them. When bananas are no longer good to eat, don't throw them away. We can actually use them for several really useful things. First, please grab me a plastic bottle like this one. If you have something similar at home, you can use that instead. You can reuse any old or seldom used plastic bottles, but please don't use anything fragile, like glass jars. All we need to do is peel the banana and put it into the plastic bottle. We peel back the skin of the ripe banana. This banana flesh here is too soft, it's spoiled, fermented, and has a lot of mold. If the banana has mold on the peel or is overripe, but the flesh still looks really good, I advise you not to risk it because the inside might have mold that you can't see with the naked eye. So, it could contain a large amount of bacteria that will grow in it. Eating it could cause some irritation to your digestive system, leading to symptoms like stomach aches and diarrhea. Therefore, it's best not to eat it anymore, but don't throw it away. After peeling the bananas, we will put the peels into the prepared plastic bottle. The riper the banana is, the softer the flesh will be, and the easier it will be to crush. Break the bananas into short pieces and easily place them in the jar. Please repeat this process and put all of the peeled banana pulp into the plastic bottle. Where are you watching this video from? Please let me know by commenting below. It's wonderful knowing that we connect with people from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can subscribe by pressing the subscribe button. It's great seeing your support. Once everything is in, you can use a rolling pin or whatever tool you have on hand to mash the bananas. Since they're ripe, it should be really easy. Mashing it until it reaches this consistency is perfect. After that, we'll add water to the jar, but don't fill it all the way up. Then stir everything well so the banana mash and the water mix together. What we need to do is use the water to ferment the overripe banana pulp. Now, seal the mouth of the bottle tightly with plastic wrap and leave it in a dry place to ferment for 1 week. Banana pulp is really rich in protein, fat, vitamins, and other nutrients. So, we can use the fermented banana pulp as fertilizer for flowers and indoor plants. During the fermentation process, every 3 days, you need to open the plastic wrap for a bit because the pulp will create some gas while it ferments. This prevents the banana liquid from being pushed up and splashing everywhere. By doing this, the solution inside won't spill out. We can see that the solution has separated into 2 layers, a milky white watery layer, and the banana pulp floating on top. The banana pulp layer contains many gas bubbles created during the fermentation process. Once all the gas has escaped, seal it up tightly and continue fermenting until the required time is reached. After 7 days of fermentation, we can use this solution now. We open the film covering the mouth or the lid of the bottle. You'll see a thicker layer of liquid at the bottom, with a thinner banana layer floating on top. Now, take all that banana material from the surface and discard it. You can use this banana residue as fertilizer for your plants. The remaining liquid should then be filtered through a coarse sieve to remove any solid banana bits. Next, we're going to fill up a spray bottle. Because the fermented liquid is highly concentrated, pour the filtered solution directly into the bottle. Remember not to spray this on the plants right away, you need to dilute it with clean water using a 1:1 ratio. Just add enough water for dilution, then close the sprayer and shake everything well. After that, we can use it to water the plants. You can use this watering can to water directly onto your plants or flowers. We often grow greenery and flowers at home. And you also need to fertilize those green plants so they develop well, otherwise, the flowers won't bloom brightly. Use it to spray your little garden, and your small garden will be filled with colorful flowers. Because the banana soaking water can contain a lot of calcium, providing abundant nutrients for your plants. After using it to water your plants for a while, they will become greener and healthier. However, when watering flowers, you should only use it once or twice a week. Don't use it daily, and try not to overuse it too often. It can also adjust the soil's pH level, helping crops grow more easily, especially acid-loving plants. This method is simple, economical, and practical. So, if your friends are growing plants at home, you can ferment overripe bananas and use them for watering. With this method, you won't have to buy fertilizer for your flowers. You can also help your blooms grow even stronger. It's as effective as chemical fertilizers, and actually better, especially for the long-term health of your soil. Using rotten bananas is super simple, and suddenly they become valuable. Doesn't that make them more valuable? Besides meat, banana peels are also very valuable. We can actually use them to repel roaches without using any harmful chemicals. First, we prepare a container, cut the banana peels into small pieces, and put them in the box. This is because banana peels contain many fragrant esters and natural sugars. These volatile compounds act as extremely strong attractants for the sensitive sense of smell that roaches possess. The peels will draw them in. Next, add a little bit of dish soap or concentrated laundry detergent to the banana peels and mix it thoroughly. I'm putting these cut peel pieces in here to create a sweet bait that will attract roaches from cracks in the walls, under cabinet corners, and so on. The smell of the peels is really fragrant and sweet because they contain fermented carbohydrate compounds that roaches, which are omnivores with a preference for sweets, absolutely love and can't resist. Then I pour in some concentrated dish soap. This acts as a surfactant, which means it destroys the protective waxy layer on the roach's body. We mix the banana peel mixture with the dish soap. Mixing thoroughly helps the bait absorb the chemical, so if the roaches eat or even touch it, they will be poisoned immediately. When a roach crawls into the mixture to eat the peels, the detergent simultaneously clogs their breathing holes, spiracles, on the sides of their bodies, causing them to suffocate within minutes. The soap molecules also have the effect of dissolving the lipid membrane on the roach's legs and abdomen, removing its natural moisture barrier, which causes the roach to gradually dehydrate and weaken. Finally, we place these in areas where roaches often enter, such as bathrooms or kitchens, drains, under beds. You can set it up like this to lure the roaches in looking for food. After leaving the mixture overnight, it will continue to release the attractant smell and chemicals, both drawing more roaches while maintaining a long-lasting pest control effect. This way, when roaches enter your home later, you won't have to buy commercial bug killer, and most importantly, it's not toxic. That wraps up the video. If you have any comments or feedback, please leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. Please also share this video with your friends and family. And remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for your support. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video.